Hello everybody, welcome back to Cinema Savvy. It is myself, George, bringing a brand new review, and today I'm going to be reviewing Anora, which of course came out in 2024. And you might be wondering, why is he reviewing this now? Well, of course, it's award season, it's Oscar season. We've just had the nominations on the Thursday just gone, and this has been nominated for 6 of them. And it kind of made me think that this year we haven't actually reviewed that many of the Best Picture nominees. So it's going to be our target as a channel to have got all 10 films reviewed and on the playlist ready for Oscar Sunday, March the 3rd. And I guess this really does kickstart our awards coverage ramping up a little bit. So before I get into my thoughts on the film, I just want to say we're going to be dropping new reviews every Thursday and Sunday for the forthcoming few weeks, with special videos planned on Tuesdays that are probably going to start in February. We'll get a little bit more detail when they go up, but we're really going to go to award season this year. We'll be doing rapid videos for the BAFTAs, we'll have our Oscars live stream, and as I said, we're aiming to get those 10 Best Picture nominees recorded, uploaded. If you're watching this later on, you're watching this now when it's gone up, you're watching it another time. If you check the playlist on our homepage, you'll see an award season playlist, and it's got everything. It's got wrap-ups from ceremonies, it's got wrap-ups from nomination days, and maybe toward the end of the line we'll have predictions and a few other things. So do check that out if you get the chance. If you want to find out more about what we're up to, what we're announcing, hit us on our social medias: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky, all under linktree.com/cinemasavvy. We post on all of those. But that being said, we are here to talk about Anora, and given this film has been out for quite a while now, I do want to hear people's thoughts in the comments, so please do get involved with that. I loved this film. I put it in my top 10 for the end of 2024, and I didn't get to review this upon release because like The Brutalist, which I was hoping would be up today, my local cinemas shafted and decided they're not going to show it. So unfortunately, many people in the UK are aware that this happens every award season. Nickel Boys we still can't get here either. Some of them have been and gone within like a week, like The Apprentice was done. We've got a review for that, but that's obviously had nominations. So it's really frustrating when we get this in award season here that if you aren't with it with the festival circus, you tend to lose out. And the only festivals we basically get here is the BFI in October. We don't really get much else, so that's just a bit of preamble. But I'm going to give my thoughts on this film, go into a bit more depth, talk about those nominations, because as I said, it's nominated for 6 awards. That's for Best Picture, Director, Supporting Actor, Actress, Writing, and Editing. Original Screenplay, I should be saying. And I love that it's had recognition in those 6, because I think Sean Baker is a director that I'm not entirely familiar with. I know a lot of people that are big fans of his, but I haven't actually seen The Florida Project, Red Rocket, or a few of his other work. So watching this the first time for me was a really interesting experience, because as I said, I loved the film, but I did not expect this film to be as good as it is. And that's kind of where the review is going to start and build up toward, because I don't want to do spoilers as such, but maybe because it's been out a while I'll talk about it, and maybe people in the comments want to bring it up too. But all I knew about this film heading into it was that it's basically going to be a film about an exotic dancer or an escort. That was it. I didn't even know which of the two. I hadn't seen any trailers. I hadn't seen it advertised anywhere. I'd not read reviews because I wanted to go into this myself and see what it's about. But I knew there was a lot of attention on Mikey, Madison, who I think is a great actress. And we've seen her in so many things now when her career is really blossoming. She's also nominated for the BAFTA Rising Star, which I really hope she wins. And I've just got to say, this film is just not what I expected at all. And I didn't really know what to expect, which is kind of contradictory at the same time. But what I can tell you is that it's one of the wildest... I don't even know if I can call it a black comedy. It's like a comedy drama that has... I'm going to bring up Good Time. I said this in a video tape back at the start of the month. When I watched this film, I had vibes of Good Time, the Rob Pattinson film from the Safdie brothers. And it's like a day in the life of adventure, and you have this outrageous sort of opening 30 minutes setting the scene, building up characters, building their personalities, setting the seeds of what's to happen, and then there's like a cataclysmic event that is the rest of the film. And it was so funny in this, and I don't really know if that's me being terrible as a viewer, but essentially a group of Russian oligarchs like security are on the search around New York for a drunkard son who's decided to marry an escort to try and keep his green card, stay in the States. That's the plot. And it's incredible. I've seen it twice now, I have just also seen it's got a Criterion release coming out, which is exciting, so I'll be able to pick it up properly. It's available on Sky here in the UK if you want to watch it before the awards. But the direction of this, it is not a type of direction that I'm used to, and maybe because Sean Baker's also editing this as well as doing the writing. I think Chloe Zhao did that a couple of years ago for Nomadland, and it makes the film feel somewhat more personal. That you've had this creative vision from, you can say, from pre-production through to post and the release. Granted, every film should have this, but it feels even more personal, yet being told on a somewhat grander scale. And I think where this film has to work is with the lead actress, which is Mikey Madison playing Anora, who is very likeable in this film. She actually, and I think I've said some videos, I personally think this is a better performance than Demi Moore in The Substance. This isn't going to win the Oscar for Best Actress because I do think that will go to Demi Moore, which I'm delighted with because I love The Substance. We've got to review that as well. And I think that it can't work without the lead. That they had to get the casting done so right for this film to work, and they absolutely nailed it. You'd almost think that the actress came into the story first and then the rest went around her, because she just was so perfect in that leading role. And it's really exciting for her career that we might see more from Mikey Madison of course we're going to see more from in the coming years, but even going back now, you've got films like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was the first thing I'd seen her in, and seeing her being more and more, I know she was in a Scream film as well, and I know that there are other projects lined up. I just think it's really exciting, and this film is like the demo from that you get actors and actresses where there's a film and then you sort of vibe with them and it's like, okay, I'm going to watch that person of interest. Not to quote Palpatine, but it is that what their next project is, I'm curious by. And she's gone into this with this film for me. I think it's an exceptional film. I think it's a really interesting film. I mentioned I compared it to Good Time, that following the day of the life of, and things keep going wrong, I think I'm allowed to say. And when it's funny, it's very funny. It's not trying to be a comedy funny, but just the way it's shot, it's directed, the performances, the reactions, the intricacies of the storytelling, it just doesn't feel generic like so many films would try and do with this. It feels real. It feels like there are people living in this moment. And then when you get to the accumulation at the end of the film with the oligarchs, whatever you think of Russian oligarchs, right, whatever you see in the news, I watch football, so I'm more than used to seeing the Abramovich stories, people getting bumped off, the power they have. Seeing it essentially be someone's wife being like raging at the sun, but also protective of him, and the actual oligarchs themselves, I'm not saying isn't intimidating, of course they're going to be intimidating, but it's just got such a different vibe to what I thought it would be. I thought it was hilarious. I thought the drama side of it was really interesting, very powerful at times, especially I guess when you get to that final scene. And I think this is a film that I'm rooting for. I don't know what success it might come in the aspect of award season. It's the annoying thing about award season is that we talk about awards, this, that, the other, and I'm going to love so many films I'm going to talk about over the next few weeks, but I think Anora is quite special. And it is time for me to go and actually watch Sean Baker's films properly now, because he deserves it, because it was a phenomenal film. It was in my top 5 of 2024, and it's one of my favourites I've seen from award season so far, so it's quite a glowing recommendation there. If I talk about the awards somewhat, because it's award season, I mentioned that I'm really happy that it's been nominated for the 6 it's been in. Now, I've been quite critical on the nomination videos, that there are certain actors who haven't been nominated in supporting actor who I think were more deserving, and Anora is the one where it is that, I would personally remove that supporting actor nomination to insert Denzel, if I'm honest, in both BAFTA and Oscars. But that doesn't take away from the performances in this film. It doesn't take away what I think of it in award season. That's just me looking at it from a general standpoint. But as I said, I love the fact this has the nominations. I personally didn't think the Academy would nominate this for Best Film. It's really arrogant of me to say that, but I sometimes think that these award bodies can be above themselves, and going off the premise of what Anora is, the background of Anora as a character, I just thought that's something that would alienate voters, and it hasn't, which is great. So yeah, it's a great one from me. I absolutely adored this. I really recommend people to watch it before the ceremony. If you don't know anything about it, it's always the best way to go into it. It's just a lot of fun. It's not what I expected. It's not what I thought it would be. And it's a film, no doubt, that I'll be revisiting in the future. And I feel that a lot of other people will too. So that's going to round up this review. A little bit shorter and sweeter today. And once again, I'm going to say it is award season on the channel. So do expect some reviews from films that have been out a while. I mentioned we've got to do The Substance. We need to do reviews for Complete Unknown, which just came out here in the UK. The Brutus just came out here in the UK. Nickel Boys, I don't think it's been released here in the UK. And I'm Still Here, which I also don't think has been released here in the UK. So there's quite a few videos planned We'll be putting them on our socials when we do, but in the meantime, I do want to hear from people at home. So comment your thoughts on Anora, your thoughts with that Oscar season, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.